You know that moment right before the notifications start pinging, before the world's demands come rushing in? There's this quiet, sacred space. That's your canvas, totally untouched, and just waiting for you. So today, let's explore how some ancient Stoic wisdom can help us claim that canvas and start our day with real purpose.
The philosopher-emperor Marcus Aurelius, he knew this. I mean, this guy was dealing with constant war, a plague, political backstabbing, you name it. And yet he chose to start his day not with dread, but with this profound sense of gratitude. Just think about that. That single thought, it's like a rudder for your ship, setting the whole tone for the day ahead.
And this, right here, this gets to the absolute core of the Stoic way of thinking. See, we're not just passive victims of our mornings, where the alarm goes off and we're just along for the ride. No, we are the architects. We have the power to shape it, to breathe life into it with our choices, right from that very first moment we wake up.
Okay, so look at the choice this presents. It's so clear. On the left, you've got the morning most of us know, right? It's a total whirlwind of other people's emergencies, other people's priorities. But on the right, that's the Stoic alternative. A morning built on your intention, your sovereignty. And that choice between these two paths, you make it the second you open your eyes.
So how do we actually build that Stoic morning? Well, it all starts with our first big idea, the power of a predictable ritual. And this isn't about making things complicated. It's about creating a solid anchor for your day. The Stoics weren't just about going through the motions. They took these simple, repeatable things and they infused them with meaning. The key word here is presence. It's not just about what you do, but how you do it. That's what turns a totally ordinary moment into something really powerful. And this is just a brilliant way to picture why that ritual is so important. A lighthouse, it doesn't move when the storm hits, right? It just stands there, offering the same guidance night after night. A morning ritual does the exact same thing for our nervous system. It basically says, hey, you're safe, you're grounded, we know what's coming next, even when the day ahead is completely unpredictable. And look, the ritual itself can be incredibly simple. Take this 3-step example. The Stoic difference isn't in what you're doing, but in the attention you bring to it. You don't just chug a glass of water to get it over with. You actually feel its coolness, its path. You don't sit there trying to force your mind to be clear. You just sit to be with your mind, whatever is going on in there. The goal is presence, not perfection. And here's the paradox, the kind of counterintuitive part. This structure actually creates freedom. When your morning is predictable, you're not wasting all this precious mental energy just deciding what to do next. That energy is freed up, and that creates the capacity to handle all the surprises and challenges the rest of the day is going to throw at you. All right, so you've got your ritual. Let's see how this builds. The next step is to prepare your mind. Because the Stoics knew that the biggest battles of the day, they're won long before the sun even comes up. I want you to think of your mind as a fortress. Now, if you wait until the anxieties and worries of the day are already banging at the gates, you're on the defensive. But if you fortify your mind in the quiet of the morning, you start from a position of strength. You're ready for whatever comes. And these are the invaders, aren't they? Every single day, these forces try to breach the walls. Marcus Aurelius would actually prepare for them. He'd remind himself, today I'm going to meet some difficult people, but I'm not going to let their actions disturb my inner peace. He was preparing his response way ahead of time. And this is exactly why that prep is so vital. You know how our minds are just experts at creating worst-case scenarios? Well, the Stoic philosopher Seneca totally nailed it. He said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The morning, then, is your chance to break that cycle. It's not about ignoring problems, but about preparing your best responses instead of just dwelling on your worst fears. You know, the Stoics were so deliberate about their mental nutrition. The first ideas you let in, the first words you read, they literally set the frequency for everything that comes next. They are the soil from which the thoughts of your entire day are going to grow. And this slide just lays out the choice so clearly. When you wake up and the first thing you do is scroll your phone, you are basically inviting the entire world to set your emotional tone for you. But when you choose wisdom first, you are programming your own mind before the day gets a chance to program it for you. Okay, this brings us to our third and final principle. And this is what gives direction to all these other practices. It's all about setting your internal compass with intention and then grounding the whole thing in gratitude. Now, this slide is absolutely key because it shows a critical Stoic distinction. Goals, they're about external outcomes, a promotion, a project, things that are ultimately outside of our complete control. But intentions are about our character.
They're about who we choose to be while we're chasing those goals. And our character, that is always 100% within our control. And here's a perfect example, straight from Marcus Aurelius himself. He didn't say, "Today I will win the battle." Nope. He set an intention for his character: justice, patience, courage. He focused only on what he could control, his own virtue, no matter what the outcome was. Now, this whole practice is rooted in this really powerful idea called amor fati, which means a love of fate. Now, it's so important to get this right. This isn't passive resignation, like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. Not at all. It's an active choice to embrace reality just as it is and to find the lesson, the growth, the opportunity hidden inside every single challenge. So how do you practice amor fati? The tool is gratitude. For the Stoics, gratitude wasn't just some nice-to-have feeling. It was psychological armor. It's basically a form of brain training that makes you more resilient by strengthening the parts of your brain that notice what's good, even when things are tough. And once again, the practice itself can be so beautifully simple. Just 3 breaths, 3 things. The key here, though, is to be specific. Not just, "I'm grateful for my family," but "I'm grateful for the way my daughter laughed yesterday." That specificity is what makes gratitude a real, tangible force in your life. So as we bring all these ideas together, let's focus on what might be the most important part of all. This isn't about trying to achieve a perfect performance. It's about committing to a daily practice. The goal is not to have a flawless morning every single day. I mean, come on, life is going to get in the way. You're going to stumble. What truly matters is your willingness to come back to it. The real power is in the commitment to just begin again each and every morning. Seneca urged us to think of each day as its own separate life. Every sunrise is an invitation. The morning is your reset button, a chance to start fresh, to reclaim your sovereignty, and to make a new choice about how you want to show up in the world. And really, that's what it all comes down to. The world is always going to try to paint on your canvas, to pull you into its chaos. But in this quiet moment, before all of that kicks off, the brush is in your hand, the sun is rising, and the choice is entirely yours.